Basically, if you can hear me still. Basically, sorry, basically, if I can get this bloody hell out. Basically, the campaign ended and Rabbit's been. I can't even remember what happened to Rabbit, but apparently he got captured by the Taliban. I remember that. Yeah, see, that's how, it's just how, like, out of nowhere the ending comes. It's not like, oh my god, it's twists, or, oh my god, we're twists kind of ending. It's just, oh, is that it? You just you just feel like there should have been more. So that was a bit disappointing, but Rabbit jumped down a mountain with his buddy. I think his buddy gets killed, if I remember. And then you're held hostage, and then the group, who are led by Deuce, well, not who have Deuce in them, go. They rescue him. They get on a chopper. Now, here's the part I didn't get. Now, Rabbit was dying slowly. He's like bleeding to death. By the time he's on the chopper, he's in one of those. What do you call it? Things you hold people in. Stretchers. That's it. Stretchers. But like ones you carry, like in World War II, they were like. And I was just looking at it, and then all of a sudden, he's just not moving. I'm thinking, is he dead or is he alive? You know, I can't bloody tell, because the way the ending was like, holy shit, is he dead or alive? What, you know? So the ending was like, But for the most part, the campaign was entertaining. The gunship level, holy shit, that was actually fun as shit. I really enjoyed that. And really, it is very emotional in parts, and I really did think it was very good. So for the campaign, I'm going to give it a 7.5. So that's my verdict for that. So now, moving on to the multiplayer. Now, to get the multiplayer, you either need to buy this game brand new, or pay an extra $5 for a pre-owned copy, which I did, for 800 Microsoft points, or 800, or however much it is in PlayStation. Well, you don't have PlayStation Online at the moment, but I do like PlayStation, by the way, so I'm not taking the piss. But however much it is on PlayStation Network, or paying through credit card for PC, unless you don't have that on there, and you get an online pass, and then with that you can go online. Personally, I don't think anyone really plays this online. At the most I've seen is like 3,500 people in total playing over all the game modes, and I'll go through them in a minute. So let me get this right. The campaign is by EA Los Angeles, so the EA LA basically. And the multiplayer, they called in the people who have made Battlefield Bad Company and all of them, and which is DICE, if you didn't know that. And basically they were called in to do the multiplayer, and then I'll get onto the extras later. But because DICE helped out and EA also publishes Battlefield, if you buy the Tier 1 edition of Medal of Honor, which I just out of luck did actually, because I bought a normal one, but the guy handed me a Tier 1, and he's like, come here kid, don't tell anyone, but if you pay this much for a normal one, I'll give you a Tier 1, because I'm so nice. And he's like that, so I was like, oh, okay. And then he basically just handed me the Tier 1 edition, which was actually like 10 quid more, and I didn't have that much money really. So he gave me the Tier 1 edition, and because of that, I don't know if you can read this, it says I've got a beta invitation. I don't know if you can read it, but I've got a beta invitation to Battlefield. I don't know whether it's Battlefield Bad Company 3, but it's Battlefield 3. And that's apparently, I found out this August, which is 3 months away. So now, if I don't get into it, because I don't know if you need the online pass for a Tier 1 edition, or you just need an online pass but you have a Tier 1 edition disc, because if I get the disc here, it does say just below Medal of Honor there, it says Tier 1 edition. It's very small, and I can't put it too close to the light because it will just, you won't see it, but it's there. So if I get on it, I'll be giving my review on that. And that'll go on to extras. I won't count it as an extras for this, but I'll review I'll tell you what I think if of the beta being included for the Tier 1 edition and stuff. Anyway, back on the multiplayer. Multiplayer is a mixture of Battlefield Bad Company 2, from what I've seen gameplay of it, because I want to get that for my birthday or something. I'm not really sure, but I'm getting the Beatles rock band, so I love my Beatles, mate. There's that. Sorry, it's my dad. There's that, and there's also, if I can remember correctly, I can't remember now. There's that. So I've lost track. Sorry, I always do this in my bloody reviews. Everyone's always commenting saying, is that all you say?" I know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right. The multiplayer is like Battlefield Bad Company 2, But from what I've seen, literally, I hate getting spawn killed in Call of Duty, but I knew that I knew I was gonna get spawn killed to shit in this game because of all the reviews I've seen of it before this. But I had no idea it was gonna be this bad. I was like, holy shit! Literally, 95% of the times I spawn in a match, within the first 5 seconds, you will get shot. You know why? Because of all you goddamn bolt action snipers with silent, I don't think there's silencers, but there's bolt action rifles, and basically there'll be camp. Now you have to camp in this game. Literally, if you like to camp, this game is right up your alley because of the simple fact that if you don't camp, you're basically fucked. So although people will not want to camp, it's the only way you can survive and stand a chance in this game. But at the same time, you've got to balance it out by what's the word? By going around getting the points by killing people to get the kill streaks. There are UAVs and giving your teammates ammo and stuff, mortar strikes, predator missiles and stuff like that. So it's a lot like Modern Warfare 2 and 1, but you know, if you can't just take from the best, I guess. I'm not a Call of Duty fan, so I wouldn't say it's the best game I've ever played, but yeah, you know where I'm coming from. And basically, the multiplayer is split into tons and tons and tons. Well, not tons and tons. About I've got the manual here. I'll have a look how many game types there are. I know there's trying to think about it now. There's combat mission, which is basically you do. Oh, what's the word? Trying to remember. Balls. Right. There is. Let me read it here. Right. So basically, you've got to clear 5 consecutive objectives to win with the OP4 Taliban. Just call them Taliban. They're basically going to be trying to stop you invading whilst the Americans are trying to get there on. And then basically, if you get one area, you unlock a new area of the same map, and you do it till all 5 objectives have been won. So this is probably the longest. If you've got teams that are about as good as each other, this match will probably go on for at least an hour or 2. Then you've got the one I play the most because of the simple fact that I'm shit at all the others. Team Assault, which is basically team deathmatch, but it's 12 on 12, but usually there's not many people playing, so it's like 6 on 6. But that's enough for me personally because I get my ass handed to me on any first-person shooter really, so that's that. Then you got Objective Raid. I don't mind playing this, but there are campers up the arse on it. But I don't get that pissed off here because I can understand people are defending. So you got the US, it's basically combat mission, but not quite. You got the US now defending, with the Taliban going in. You've got to get 2 objectives, and you've got 5 minutes. If you don't get both of them, you don't win. Simple as that. If you defend both of them, you win. If it depends which type you are. So then you got that's basically like I guess you say demolition, but except you don't explode the parts. You just capture both of them, and then once one's captured, you can't get the others on top. Then you got sector control, which is basically domination. So it's free flags, capture them and stuff. And that's it really. That's all the maps. There is another map called another mode called Clean Sweep, which is basically like Search and Destroy, but you don't blow up or defend anything. It's just if you die, you're out for the round. I haven't played it because, as you know me, I don't like those types of games, and that's the main reason I dislike the Gears of War series online, because it's difficult as it is playing third-person shooters. But if you are cheaply killed, which I always am, because or you're basically shit like me, you know, I always play Horde or Guardian on Gears of War 2. I don't touch Gears of War 1 for the simple fact that it's buggy. The shotgun is slightly more overpowered than it is in Gears of War 2. It's overpowered in any of the games. I don't care what. Cliff Bleszinski looks like a hobo. And basically, the obvious things that fans are saying, he doesn't take in. And that's why Gears of War 2's multiplayer, he said this, was shit. Or bumpy or whatever. Or it wasn't as good. You know, the Horde mode is the only good thing I like about the multiplayer. Because it's survival and you work as a team. That's the only thing I like about Gears of War 2 multiplayer. The campaign's boring as fuck. But anyway, without trying to compare this to other pieces of shit games, so then you play as the Marines and stuff. The thing I was surprised at is you have classes, which you can choose what weapons you have and stuff, but You have riflemen who have assault rifles or light machine guns. You can select which ones you want, and you can have red dot sights and stuff like that. But I usually go red dot sights for the Americans and iron sights for the Taliban, for the simple fact. And they do say this in the tips. Not all guns are accurate with attachments. So the AK-47 and the AK-47U, I don't use red dot sights on, for the simple fact that it's like latched off the rifle. And it just really looks really odd, and I can barely get any kills with it. So I just usually use the iron sights, and it actually gets a few more kills than I thought. So I use that. So they used to use the rifleman. You got for the so at the moment I've unlocked the, I can't remember the name exactly, but it's an assault rifle. I think it's the M1611. Don't quote me on it. I don't know it. It's the